Hi there, Gary Jenkins here with part two of what we have here is a failure to communicate. Yesterday I was talking about having a sender and a receiver, one person sending the message and the receiver having an obligation to confirm that they heard the message correctly. But there's more to it than just the words you use. In communication, it's body language, tone inflection, the emphasis on the words. Is this sarcasm that you're hearing, or is this um, factual, scientific, point by point analysis of, of the information that's being presented? Is a person referencing previous events, or are they accepting that there's a knowledge base that we share together? Therefore, I don't have to go into full explanations of everything. And also, there's empathy in communication. The heart. Our hearts are always talking. I suffer from dyslexia. That's one of the challenges God has presented me in this life. Having dyslexia um, can be an excuse, but in reality, dyslexia is only a communication disorder. And it's something that you can learn to overcome. Now, let me be very frank. When I'm asked to write in the written word or to read the written word, I don't get any emotions whatsoever. I don't understand anything other than I have information that's being presented to me in a written format. If you give me a piece of poetry or if you give me a scientific journal, it's information. That's all I get from it. But if you read the scientific journal to me or you read the poetry, suddenly I get it. Okay? So that's me. But we have to look into it like, are people understanding our communication? And that's where our empathy comes in. Do they hear me? Do they feel the energy? Do they recognize what's going on here? And as a sender of information or a receiver of information, we have to make it clear to the other side that the message is understood. Your message has been given to me and I understand it. That letter you gave to me, I didn't know it was poetry. That's me. But now that you're telling me it, I understand the poetry. I can feel the emotions and the words, etc. That is communication, ladies and gentlemen. It's not just the words that have been used. And sometimes communication needs to be a better word selection or a clarification of what the word is intended to mean. I, in my previous employment, worked an awful lot with people who had English as a second or a third language. Their vocabularies may be very limited to maybe 800 common words. And they would use phrases or statements of fact that had words in there that made no sense in English whatsoever. For example, I don't know where this word comes from. I'll revert back to you. What in the world does that mean? I would ask my British colleagues, is this British English? I'll revert. They didn't know what it meant. But it was so common amongst people of second and third languages to use this phrase. Came to understand, I'll get back to you. That's what they really meant. I'll get back to you on this subject at a later date and time. So we do have to find out what people mean. And we do have to develop a language skill set of understanding what words mean to various people. It's often been said, as a quote from Winston Churchill, who had a British father and an American mother, he famously said that the American people and the British people were divided by a common language. And in all of our communication, we might as well consider that we're all divided by regions, countries, understanding of definitions of words, understanding of what slang words are. And we need to bring all of this into context so that we get a clear sense of communication so we don't have misunderstandings. And when you're on your road to recovery from redundancy, this is a very important point, particularly if you truly believe that there has been some flavor of discrimination. It's so easy to have misunderstanding between you, the employer, or lawyers, what friends and neighbors are saying. So let's make sure that we're all checking out what people are saying so that we understand thoroughly what is being intended in the message. And that is my tip for today. Thank you.